from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It's Week 9 of the NFL on EA Sports. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys versus Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos.
Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a 7-time Pro Bowl quarterback in his 10th NFL season now. That's Russell Wilson.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first-half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go, but if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
The numbers a week ago for Melvin Gordon. 16 carries, 90 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on him. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately. But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Flushed out right, and that's checked down to Gordon. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll contain him to just 4, second down. To throw is Wilson. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Again, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Albert O, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott set to go on offense for the first time. And with Dak at the controls, his 6th season under center now as the Cowboys quarterback.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers for Zeke from last week. Pretty good, as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Now Prescott. Now he's flushed out right. They juked him and past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Draw play, Elliott. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver? That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they...
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. The sack there by Bradley Chubb. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. The give is to Elliott. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 to be exact. Here's Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly have the right read on that one. The weak spot in a cover 2 defense, right down the middle, because it really stresses the safeties. And they're going to be a little bit frustrated they weren't able to connect on that one.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there, because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things, because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in here by Patrick. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. 2nd down at 4. From the shotgun, Wilson. He'll buy some time right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, Frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And he will have a Broncos first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Now Gordon on first down. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Play action. Now Wilson. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting in there and bringing him to the ground. On 3rd down, Wilson. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now it's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is out of bounds here. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal. They go play action with Wilson. And this is caught. Touchdown. Wait, hold a second here. Flag down. Let's see if this will stand. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
McManus's point after is good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
So, Charles, you talk about this offense as we play here in Week 9 of the 2021 season. Normally, you're slipping kind of past the halfway point, but now with the season expanding to 17 games, you kind of think the teams might look up and say, gosh, we still have a lot of football left to go.
No doubt about it. And remember, they've had their open week already, so this could be a straight shot all the way from here on out. To me, the best coaches, they tell their teams, hey, I'll take care of you during the week. You just leave it all out there on game day, and I'll make sure you're ready for the next one.
They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away.
KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a good job shifting right, finding his target. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Prescott looks to throw on first. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Meanwhile, Dak's throw hauled in by Washington. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL. We are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, we head to the Big Easy to check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. A touchdown pass there for Jameis Winston. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Rashard Higgins, a touchdown reception. In our game, it's been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front, as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on first. From the 44,
Prescott. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Washington. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line. Prescott now. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. They get him that time thanks to the safety blitz as he sank for a loss of 4.
He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Now Prescott. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he's got room. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Washington's got it. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This is Elliott. And he stopped immediately there.
Alexander Johnson there on the stop.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. On play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Schultz. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. They'll throw again. Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Washington. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Prescott's throw pulled in by Lamb.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Not much there, only a yard.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Throwing, Prescott. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, third down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Prescott yet again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Elliott. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the first down. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And that is caught at the back judge right there to say incomplete. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. And we roll tape now on his solid performance.
And what we've been seeing so far is a great combination of finesse.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively,
That kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's going to have a Broncos first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. 8 yards to go on second down. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
The kick by McManus is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Now they got to get to the line quickly. And now this throw complete to Washington. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Prescott to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott connects here with a tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Prescott.
incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Throw left side, taken in by Washington.
And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a